Bennyboy here with another Ballistix mod in the making. This time we're going to do a scratch build from the tap to the bottom. Ugh, this audience is unbearable. Those of you who didn't know, I've actually already built 2 computers and beer kegs before. This is going to be my 3rd attempt. The second time I did it was for Nvidia back in 2010 for the Consumer Electronics Show, and it was a huge success. It actually had a functioning beer tap in the top that would pour beer, and as awesome as that sounds, it was not convenient at all, and it wasn't really something you'd actually want to have at your desk and have to maintain. This time around I'm going to do things a little different. I'm going to up the ante in a few ways. If you want to check out that Nvidia video from CES, you can click on the link right here below. Otherwise, let's go ahead and let's get this build started.
Before we even touch anything, we gotta get everything designed in Google SketchUp. From the frame to the acrylic and the dispensing system. Now we need to trace out the cuts in the keg we're gonna make. I'm gonna use an angle grinder to make the majority of the cuts. It's a good idea to keep the guard on. This is dangerous. Some fermented beer, anyone? Let's go ahead and wash all that nasty stuff out. We're going to use some special hard blades for stainless steel. Using a grinder to clean up some burrs. Steel wholesale will come up for oil protective coating. I use some vinegar and water to remove this. When cutting a bunch of pieces that are the same length, I like to mark one with an X. This way I can use it as a stencil to cut other ones to the same length. A metal cutting bandsaw is a must-have for making nice, good, clean cuts. Before welding, I mark out a template on my table. For my welding, I'm going to use TIG. This uses argon gas to shield an electrode to give you nice, good, clean welds on really small metal. Really good for this type of work. When there's a gap in the metal, we use a filler rod to fill the voids, tapping a few spots here and there. I had to make up some elaborate clamps to hold metal down. Holding your pieces nice and solid as you're working on them is really important. Nothing like a mallet to straighten some things out. Really not that good of a TIG welder, but I started to get pretty good by the end of this frame. Now I'm going to work on some mounting points to hold the keg onto the frame. She's starting to come together. Now it's time to tap this keg. Oh, it never gets old. We're going to go ahead and make a power supply mount. Next I put on some brackets on the bottom of the case for a grill. Went ahead and measured and then cut out some perforated steel. Like a glove. Using some small pieces, I made some brackets for some oak panels I'm going to cut out. This smaller metal mesh will help with ventilation on the bottom. Not looking too bad. Can't wait to stain it and get this painted. Now comes the tedious part of making a connecting joint for the top part of the keg. It's already getting pretty heavy. We don't even have any computer parts, beer, or coolant yet. Cannibalizing this old beer tap, we're going to use this to make a custom attachment so we can have a beer handle at the top of the case. Not that bad for my welding standards. Okay, so here's one of the cool things about this build. I'm going to have a rotating chamber of beer cans or whatever your beverage of choice up top. It's going to have stepper motors that lift the beer out when you pull the beer tap handle on top. It'll rotate to the next beer and it'll be ready to pop another one out. So in order to do this, I'm going to have to laser cut some pretty exact pieces. Once you've turned your plan into vector files, it's time to get yourself a laser machine. Well, if you can't afford one, find a local maker shop like I did. If you don't know what a maker's lab is, it's basically a club. You just pay a monthly fee and you get to use all the cool and awesome equipment that's inside. Stay tuned for next week's work vlog. We're going to put in the awesome Geforce GTX 1080 ties.